Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, a warm welcome to you as well. Today we are on the Altis Sigma, and we're doing a little range test. We're keeping the bike on normal mode the whole time. It's going to be through GPS. The temperature is 35 degrees and sunny. I am 200 pounds, and I have the charger and a couple other things on my back, so that's another 10 pounds or so. These mirrors that I put on are terrible. I'm going to take them off as soon as I get back home. I wanted to put a bar end mirror on this, but the handlebar is so thin that I couldn't stick it into the handlebar, so I'll have to figure out something else. But I really like bar end mirrors just on one end, just on the left side, because it's sleek, it's minimalist, it's out of the way. Oh, and by the way, I did set the gear ratio to 7.4. I updated the firmware on this bike, and I don't know if it changed anything or not, but 7.4, as you can tell, is pretty close now to being accurate. About 1 mile an hour off in the low 40 mile an hour range, so that's good. These mirrors are terrible. They just don't stick out far enough. I just had these kicking around from one of my e-bikes that I got, and yeah, we're gonna rip these off as soon as we can. I really wish I had a bar end mirror though. That would be the best. That's my favorite. But today's range test, I am hoping to get at least 35 to 40 miles. I know the cold weather will affect the range. And speaking of which, allegedly this bike will only give you 22 kilowatts when the battery wakes up on the right side of the bed and the stars align, and it is in its perfect temperature range and perfect battery level charge, which, of course, it will not be in that range today. So there's no way in the hell we'll be getting full power today. And that's okay, because, like I said, we're keeping it on normal mode the whole time. Looks like the top speed of normal mode is about 45 miles an hour. And for maintaining speed, we use anywhere between 50 to 60 amps of current. I ride here on my e-bike, and man, I really do like the torque that this thing gives you. I can just go up this hill so easy. It's unbelievable. Love it. I barely have any miles on this bike. It's been so cold lately that I couldn't really get out to ride. We've had insane winds over on the East Coast as well. Maybe not as crazy as the West Coast. Sorry for you guys that live around LA. You guys are getting burnt to a crisp out there. But I only have 30 miles on this thing, so I'm excited to get some miles on it, because I don't really have too many opinions on this bike for two reasons. Number one, I barely have any miles on it. And number two, I don't really have any point of reference. I've never owned an electric dirt bike like this, so I don't have really any long-term personal experiences to compare this bike to. But so far so good. The one thing I do wish were better on this bike, and it's a small issue, is the seat lock. The seat lock doesn't lock. Sometimes I'll lock it, and if you pull hard enough on the seat, which isn't all that much, it will let go. It'll open up. So I don't know if that just needs adjusting. I didn't see any place that I could adjust it. But yeah, I wish the seat lock were better. And getting back to the topic of the power on this bike, I am not certain on this, but perhaps Altis has tuned this bike so that it is very, very, very conservatively using the batteries, as in zero abuse to the batteries. And that's why you can only get that full power from a very small range of charge and temperature. And I wonder if there will be a future option, maybe an update, maybe an over-the-air update, where the controller will take a little bit more power a little bit more often, where it's not so conservative. It's not going to worry about the battery health that much, because I feel right now it's like the equivalent of, let's say God gives you a body and he's like, all right, you are only allowed to eat broccoli and chicken and water, and that's it. And because of that, you'll live to 100 years old. Well, what if I want, on occasion, to have a beer? What if I want some pizza? I know full well that it's going to decrease the longevity, but if I want to do it, and I've accepted the consequences, and if it shaves off 5 years off my life, I'm going to have some pizza and beer. And I accept that my life will be shortened by a very small amount. So maybe that's the case, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. But it would be nice if Altis did release an update where we can get that power easier. And by the way, I just took this bike off the charger, charged it 100%, indoors fully. I haven't cycled this battery completely, but I brought it down to like 50% and then charged it back up all the way twice now, and I don't know what's going on, but the battery is draining very, very, very quickly. I can't believe that it would be due to the cold, because it's draining very fast. For example, we started off at 100% charge. I'm only 5.7 miles in and we're at 82%. And so that's why I brought the charger. I am not sure what is going on there, but yeah, we'll see what kind of range we get with 35-degree weather. I was gonna take this bike on a rail trail near my house to get to my destination today, but it's just ridiculous. I would feel ridiculous bringing this thing on the rail trail. I know a lot of people do, where a lot of people walk and bike with their dogs, but this thing, you know, it goes fast. I want to go fast. Going 40 miles an hour on a rail trail consistently, some might argue at all, doesn't really sit well with me. I may or may not have done it before on some e-bike just for a quick second when no one was there, but generally I cruise there like around 20-25 miles an hour, usually less. And this thing, being in normal mode, just wants to go at least 40 in normal mode. Looks like we top out at like 42, 43. Oh guys, look at that. That's a stop sign. Fun fact, that's where hundreds of cars stop every day. And what's interesting about these stop signs is that they have a white outline. That's kind of cool. It smells like pizza around here. I am so hungry. I did not consent to smelling pizza. How dare they emit that kind of smell and have it enter my nose. I'm pretty sure there is some restaurant out in California actually where people were complaining that the restaurant itself was emitting an odor, and it was a good odor, it was a nice smell, you know. Pretty much the town or the state, I can't remember, forced this restaurant to install some kind of giant filtration system to filter out that smell. And I think the restaurant had to close down because of it. And I actually don't care all that much. However, it does bother me a little bit. Let's say, you know, it's New Year's resolution, you're trying to lose some weight, you've been eating chicken and broccoli all the time, and then all of a sudden you smell some delicious smell nearby, and now all you think about is pizza. Just saying, kind of annoying. So we're pulling 65 amps. Battery percentage is already at 75%. We're at 8.2 miles. Oh, Cybertruck. Nice. Tell you what, in this weather, I feel the wind. It's still windy out today, plus the speed of this bike, plus the cold weather. These heated gloves come in so clutch. Leave a link to these gloves in the description below. Just for fun, let's try 8.3 gear ratio. See if it's any better. Yeah, see? That's way off. It looks like it was better at 7.4 than 8.3, because right now we're showing 43 GPS, 40 on the display. All right, we're gonna switch it back down to 7.4. So again, I don't know if the update changed that or it was like that before, but in my initial video I said 8.3 was on the money, and apparently now it is not. So I don't know what to tell you folks. 7.4. Yeah, see, 7.4 is closer. It's off by maybe 1 mile an hour, pulling 55 amps, going 40 miles an hour. We're at 11.32 miles. The battery is 61%. I don't know, guys. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Going up this hill, we are pulling 75 amps, 60 amps, slow it down a bit. All right, I'm gonna catch up with you guys in a bit, but currently we are at almost 13 miles. Battery charge is 55%. I don't know about you guys, but that kind of sucks. So I don't know. Catch up with you guys in a bit and we'll keep going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it, and it's a little bit colder now, maybe 30 to 35 degrees. The sun has started to go down and we're at 13.25 miles, somewhere on there, and my battery is at 54%. So far I am kind of disappointed with that range, I'm not gonna lie. To the point where, just to make sure I can make it back, I am going to do probably most of the way back home in eco mode. So right now we're in eco mode, and we are going to be on the rail trail because I'm not going to be going all that fast. So I'm not sure, guys, if my battery is bad or something, defective, or the cold weather affects the range that much to that extent. I'm not 100% sure, but so far I gotta say I'm kind of disappointed in the range. We'll see how we do on the way back. So in eco mode, going full speed on flat ground, I'm pulling about 10 amps of power, so that's nothing. We're not gonna do the whole way back in eco mode because when I get back on the roads, I don't want to be going 20 miles an hour. But at least we can check the low speed speedometer accuracy, and it looks like we are still good. Look at that. it's even more accurate at lower speeds than at higher speeds. So yeah, that 7.3 setting for the gear ratio is where it's at. That could have been changed after the update, I don't know, but this is great right now. Look at that, that is perfect. I'm kind of happy it's cold right now because that'll keep a lot of people off this trail. I do feel slightly ridiculous being on this thing while on this trail, because ultimately it doesn't look like a bicycle, especially because I have these mirrors installed, I have a motorcycle helmet, and oh yeah, I have no pedals. That's a giveaway. But at least there won't be too many people walking on the trail. Very few Karens to bother me. And of course I am going to limit myself to eco mode, so I'm not going to be going faster than this. I want to go faster, don't get me wrong. Actually, we will go a little bit faster right now, just for this part. And that's just to cut through. Taking a little shortcut, and now we're gonna switch it back down to eco mode and get back on the rail trail. Oh, those brakes are loud. There's a bunch of tricks that some people do to try and make them quieter, but ultimately it just boils down to the pad material. Some are louder than others. All right, see that? So we're at 16 miles, 49% battery. Really kind of disappointed so far in the range. And batteries, by the way, they don't drain linearly. So what happens is that there's a nominal voltage for a battery, and the battery drains slowest around the nominal voltage, but at the high end, like when you fully charge your battery, and at the very low end, the voltage will plummet. So that's why when you fully charge a battery and you use it, it'll drop abruptly, and then it'll slowly discharge. And then towards the end, it's deceptive because sometimes you'll be at like 20%, 15% battery, and then it will abruptly lose voltage then also. And that's why it's like that. That's just how most lithium-ion batteries drain. That's gotten me in trouble before in some range tests where I overestimate how much battery I have left, and then when I get to like 15%, it just plummets down to 5, and you're thinking, okay, looks like I'm gonna be pedaling this thing home with no energy. But all right guys, look at that. Battery is at 0. We're at 66 miles. This thing is not helping me at all. I'm on gear 2. I'm just gonna turn this off and just use my legs. After 4 hours, I don't know what they have, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I don't care what anyone says. This is a 75-pound e-bike with an extra 20 pounds worth of stuff on it, like bike locks, accessories, whatever it is. All right, I got a whole bag behind me. So people are like, oh yeah, you could totally use this e-bike with no power. Yeah, I'm on the granite gear, pedaling away. This sucks. But this, unfortunately, we don't have any pedals, so we gotta be careful. We're not gonna go too crazy. So even right now, we're on the rail trail. There's no one here, there's no one on this. We're still gonna keep it in eco mode and just chill out for a bit. Keep it at 20 miles an hour, or 22 miles an hour, I guess. When we get closer to my house, we're gonna bring it back to normal mode. All right, I gotta take that back because there's a bunch of people walking around here. New Englanders don't even care about the cold, I guess. I do like how quiet this bike is, especially when you're going slow. Fun fact, this section of trail right here, I actually go out to run with a couple guys every single Sunday morning. I'm trying to start a running cult where at least once a week, typically we go out Sunday mornings, but at least once a week you do a 5K run for life, forever. I want to try and keep going as long as I can. And so far I'm about a year and 3 months into it. I've only missed a few runs where it's been either super snowy or very rainy, but besides that, every weekend we're out here running. The weekend before last, I was actually up in New Hampshire, and we skied one day and then hiked 4,000 footer the next, so my legs were just shot. So I consider that to be my cardio, but besides that, we're out here all the time, every single weekend. So it's always entertaining when people say e-bikes are for lazy people. All right guys, so we're done with the slower parts. We're gonna switch it back to normal mode. We're at 42% battery and 20.57 miles. We'll get back to moving as we were last time. I do feel a decrease in power. Not as much torque as we once had, but that's to be expected. You guys know how it is. Man, it is cold. It's like 30 degrees probably, and the sun is going down, so it's not warming as much as it used to. This sucks. All right, guys, 25% battery. We're at 25 miles. So here's that zone when battery voltage really starts dropping quickly, and you think you have a certain amount of range, but you actually don't. So we'll see where we get. We're almost back, but I'd like to keep going until we're maybe to like 10% battery. I don't know. All right, guys, we're at 19% battery, 27.3 miles. We're gonna roll around a bit in this neighborhood until we get to, I don't know, maybe 10%. I would like to try the steep hill climb test when the battery is low. See what kind of power we still get from normal mode. So a lot of e-bikes, when they get down to this battery level, they have no power, no torque. And this one is holding us at 18 miles an hour going up this hill. All right, that's actually as fast as my most recent dual motor e-bike that I've tested going up that hill, which I think broke all the records for stock e-bikes. You guys will see that review soon. 18 miles an hour. Holy! Wow, that is fast. But that bike was fully charged, 52 volts, and this is 16% now. Yeah, we got our little battery charge indicator that's blinking. I know. 16%. We're gonna head back soon. These pads are loud. When they do wear out, I'll have to get quieter ones. I hear ceramic pads are pretty nice. I could tell the power is limited now. 14%. We're at 28 miles. We'll probably get to 30 miles. What do you guys think? For a mostly normal motor ride in 30-degree weather, 30 miles of range. My buddy Tim, the other Sigma male over on the West Coast, gets about 40 miles of range in the warmer weather, although he's got about 50 pounds on me. So maybe the cold really does affect these batteries quite a bit. I don't know. 13%. Here's our long hill climb test that we do. Let's see how it is stopping at the line normal mode. 3, 2, 1, go. Pulling 33 amps of current, 11% battery. We've officially hit 10% battery, and our mileage is 29.99 miles, so 30 miles. I think we'll probably call it a day for this range test while this bike is still moving. So there you go, guys. Cold weather range tests, around 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, I'm about 200 pounds. Mostly normal mode. We were on eco mode for a few miles of it, just to make sure we made it back. That's it for today, folks. Until next time.